Canada's finance ministers are in Ottawa for their second summit of the year. The meeting comes just days after a contentious meeting between the premiers and prime minister in Montreal. That meeting wrapped up with promises to solve Alberta's oil crisis, but few details on how to do so. Today, the finance ministers are expected to discuss carbon taxing and the struggles of the oil and gas industry. Several of the provinces are also calling for an overhaul of the equalization program. This year, nearly $20 billion in equalization payments will be split among just 5 provinces: Quebec, Manitoba, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, and New Brunswick. Here to chat more about this is Danielle Smith from 770 CHQR, a conversation you'll be having on your show this morning as well, Danielle. Lots to unravel here. Do you think equalized payments will ever be revamped in any significant way?
I think they have to be, or the country will not survive. When you look at the sequence of events that have happened over the last couple of days, with the Quebec bragging about having a $3 billion surplus, at the same time as now their equalization payments are going to go up, at the same time as we have a national conference to try to get the premiers together to figure out how to reduce trade barriers. And François Legault, the new premier of Quebec, says, we don't believe in oil in Quebec. Well, they sure believe in taking the money that is generated for Ottawa from Alberta principally, because of principally our oil sector. And so these are the tensions that are just set to blow over. I have not seen so much anger and so many people, columnists in mainstream newspapers, saying, you know what, we might be on the verge of having separatism raise its head in Alberta again. So the way that this has been handled has been completely roughshod over Alberta. You've got Bill Morneau, who had the opportunity to bring together all of the provinces to talk about how to reform equalization. He chose to just extend it for the next 5 years. Now, Jason Kenney, it sort of puts into context why last week he said that if he's elected, one of the first things he'll do is he will have a referendum on whether or not we should even support the conception of equalization and change the Constitution to eliminate that clause from our Constitution. So I think that this is the new battleground, and I'm just amazed that the federal government just keeps stumbling into one crisis after another, creating regional divisions and seemingly having absolutely no awareness of what they're doing. That's a real problem.
I will claim right away I don't understand everything about the equalization payments, in the fact that, is it a valid argument to say, well, we're just going to, it's not up to just a province. Like, there's more to it than just to say, well, then we're going to look internally at changing this.
No, what happens is that it's a principle that's enshrined in our Constitution, and the way our laws work is that if one province initiates a change to the Constitution, it obligates every other province to consider the same question. So I don't know that we would win the battle. I don't know that we would win a constitutional amendment, but we'd sure engage in a national discussion about it. Because I think Albertans are generous. I think that they don't mind supporting their friends in need. The problem is that it's all one way. It's all money coming out of Alberta, going to Quebec, and not only do we not get appreciation for it, now we're getting slapped in the face. And I think that is what's creating the problem.
Feel like we've been left alone here a little bit, is the pulse in the province, of which you'll be talking about on your show starting at 9:30 this morning.
Indeed.
Thanks, Danielle.